Hi, Revision Church. My name is Peter Seraphin, and I work for Worldwide Village in Haiti. Even though the political unrest and gang violence are hurting our country, God is still at work. Here's a look at what's happening in Haiti. A big thank you to everyone at Revision Church for supporting Worldwide Village and making this possible. I also wanted to take a minute to introduce you to 8 students from the Good Samaritan School who have been waiting for a sponsor for over a year. A sponsorship can be life-changing for a young child in Haiti. Can you support a student today? We hope to see you in Haiti soon. But until then, merci en pile. Many thanks.
Hey Revision Church, my name is Asla McCarthy and I am serving in Togo, West Africa with our deaf ministry. Did you know that there are 70 million people in the world who are deaf? And only 2% of that 70 million actually have access to the gospel? We're keenly aware of that here in Togo, and the numbers are even more difficult because we live in a developing country. But we have a desire to see the deaf reached with the gospel. And so my sign language teacher, Mause, and I have had the opportunity this past school year to work at a local deaf school. And we get to go in there every week and teach short Bible stories to these kids. And something that has really amazed me in this process is just to think about that the vast majority of the deaf here in Togo will be born, will live a whole life, and will die without ever knowing or even having the opportunity to know who Jesus is. But we have this opportunity to go into this school where kids are learning how to communicate for the very first time, and in their very first steps of communication, they're also learning about who God is. We started by teaching through the story of creation, who created everything, and the kids are starting to understand that it was God that created everything, and God created them as well. And so we're praying diligently for a gospel movement to take place among the deaf worldwide, but specifically here in Togo and in the neighboring country of Benin. Would you please join us in praying as we continue to figure out what this looks like, to introduce the gospel to people who have never had access to it before. Thank you so much for your love and your support and your prayers. Really appreciate it.
Hello, Revision Church. It's been about a year since we connected on Mother's Day for Chosen, the day that a child in Honduras was empowered to choose you. And since that day, God's been doing a good work in Honduras. We're in phase 1 of 4 phases of our community development model. In this initial phase, community leaders are gathered together from the faith community, business community, government, the educational community to answer a series of questions. The main question is, what do you want for your children? And community leaders, we want clean water and better educational facilities or a health clinic. And that vision then is developed, and through child sponsorship and other gifts, their vision becomes a reality over the next 15 and 20 years. But the beautiful thing is the impact that you're having in a child's life. By writing letters, through prayer, and regular communication, you're making a huge difference in the life of a child. If you haven't had a chance yet to write a child recently, please do so. I had a chance to write one of my sponsored children, Brian, and it took a little while for him to get back to me, but it's this beautiful interaction that we get to have together. In Honduras right now, we hope that that every citizen in Honduras will have clean water by 2030. That would be amazing. And your partnership in the gospel is making that a reality. Hopefully, between now and the next year or so, Pastor Mike will have a chance to visit the Word and report back to you more of the wonderful ways that God is working. Until then, God bless you and thank you.
Hey, Pastor Mike and Revision Church, David here at the Timothy Initiative. I want to thank you guys for your incredible partnership. You guys have been so generous. I don't have the words to say thank you. I love you. I love everything about Revision. And I want to give you a quick report. When I think of what's going on in our ministry right now, the verse that comes to my mind is 1 Corinthians 16:9, where Paul said, and I'm going to paraphrase, he said, we have this wide open door for effective ministry, and yet, he said, there are many adversaries. And that's exactly what's happening in our life right now. The ministry is exploding in growth. I think we're going to plant over 30,000 churches this year. That's a new record for us. I was just in Indonesia. We've had 7 countries, leaders there gathered together, some of the most difficult countries in the world. And those guys are planning to plant 7,000 new churches there. I was just in Tanzania a couple of months ago. Our church planters went from 2,000 to almost 11,000. And those stories are just being repeated everywhere. And by the way, you guys are helping to make that happen. It wouldn't be happening if it weren't for you and other churches like you. And so there's a wide open door for effective ministry, and yet so many adversaries. Satan is not happy. Last week in a country, we had some of our people arrested for evangelizing, for showing the Jesus film. Last month in Ethiopia, one of our leaders was shot and killed, and many other problems. And so we need your prayers. Please lift us up in prayer. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for just letting me be your friend and be on your team. God bless you guys. Take care.